I went to go speak and nothing but phlegm came up. Hey, good morning and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. Happy Thursday. Happy Phlegm Day. Welcome, everyone. I'm so happy that you are here. I am the Badass Buddha. It is Thursday. It's cloudy here in southern New England. It's not so cold. I think it's supposed to rain, but I think we are skirting the snow because it's not so cold. So, good morning. Good morning to you. Happy January 19th. Oh my goodness. We are in the third week of, right? No, we're in the middle. I don't want to say if it's the third, I don't know. But we're in the middle. We're actually heading towards the end of January. Oh my goodness. So, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Buenos días. Mi gente. It is cloudy over here today, as well in Tampa, Florida. And it'll be high 80. I don't know. It was freezing the other day. It's gonna be warm. But yes, mi gente, it is Thursday, and we are in, unfortunately, it is the third week, but it doesn't feel like the third week because there's still so many days left, right? So when you were saying it, I'm calculating. I'm like, it's so right.
Yeah, I think it's January has like an extra week, doesn't it? Something like that, right?
It always seemed long to me, but yeah. So look at I froze. Whoa.
I'm trying. I'm telling you, it's such a challenge to like post.
It is. It's getting hard.
Gosh.
And Thursday, like what is Thursday? You know, we only think about, we glorify Friday. You know, we insult Monday. I always love Mondays. You know, the weekend, we can't wait for it, but then we berate it for being so quick. And it's like we never talk about, like, what's Thursday? Like hump day is Wednesday. You know? I think it's just the day before the weekend starts, right?
Yes.
I think
I was just talking about that yesterday when I was in Clubhouse about the word hump day, because I have a new room this year called midweek mindfulness and mindset check-in. And so we're talking about that. And because people come on Clubhouse and they're not all from the United States, I don't know what other countries use that term, but I said it and then I started laughing. And, you know, here in the US, we call it hump day. I said, but it's not always accurate because God knows I'm not getting any humping in these days, you know. And one of the guys that was on there from the US, he comes on a lot. Jesse's a buddy of mine. He put in the comments, same thing. He's like, yeah, hump day for me. It's hump day, but really not hump day. He goes, and when you're married, you know, he started that married thing, you know. But good morning, Kathy. Welcome, Kathy.
Good morning, Kathy. You know, it's funny because normally at work we have these unnecessary huddles, right? And they go down and they ask everybody, you got anything? No. I'm talking managers, HR, the chef, all of us minions. And no, you got anything? No. Okay, have a good day. And I'm like, they called me out for this. So I started saying stuff like last
and they stopped having the huddles.
I think it was Tuesday. If anything, and nobody's like, no. And they're like, Margie, you have something? I'm like, yes, I'm awesome. And it's like some people chuckle, some people don't know how to take it. And then yesterday, I said that. We're going, and everybody's like, no. And I'm like, happy hump day. And it's like, it catches people off guard because everybody follows everyone else, you know, following the masses blindly.
Sure.
Because if they don't got nothing to say, then I'm not going to say anything. And I find I'm like, 2 weeks ago, they're like, you have anything to say? I'm like, yes, we have awful little garbage bags when we change the page. Can we at least? And they're like, oh, we never knew something was wrong with it. And that's the problem. So I think, you know, we need to just be different. Be aware that you are rare and sets you apart from everyone else. Or be that little icebreaker when it's like, no. and then chef reads the menu, and then everybody disperses. Leave a word of encouragement. That's the opportunity for someone to be a disruptor and say, make sure that you put your cape on or something that's gonna be like what? Something, be amazing, be. I think that is the opportunity when we get to say something to either get them to chuckle, because you know when somebody laughs or has a chuckle, but they're having all these dark thoughts, it breaks it like the light
It
comes through.
shifts it.
You
Absolutely. I
know, so
completely agree.
I think wherever you are, you don't even gotta know the people, because trust me, you work with people, you don't know them. You just say hey, or you don't say nothing. So I'm just saying, let's be that person to say,
Let's challenge everyone today. Be that person today.
yep,
The
I'm gonna think of a word today.
make
Because
a
it's
help
mixed.
people
I can't
shift.
say my lady quotes that I create. You know, it's a mixture of employees.
Help people shift today, because sometimes we get caught up into those headspaces, right? So I remember when I was in college, my oh god, I loved college so much better than high school, because it allowed me to think like more broadly, whereas high school seemed to be more like this. And I remember I had to take the dreaded module class that everybody, you have to take all your module classes, and I had to take an English lit class. Actually, I took American literature, and um, the teacher gave out like this sheet, and he just wanted everybody to put their interests. And then he assigned books to each of us, not one book to everybody, each book. He told us what to get from the library, and based on what we put. So it's so funny. So we're talking like I'm 18 years old, and he assigns me a person that's kind of in the personal development, or back then self-help genre. And it was Leo Buscaglia, which I absolutely love. Leo Buscaglia, love his stuff. And I read the book, and I got hooked on him. Like I was like, oh my god, that was fabulous. I wrote my whatever report on it, and he ended up assigning me another Leo Buscaglia book. But I remember this vividly. One of the things he says, what he used to do this all the time. He used to disrupt people all the time. He was very jovial, very Italian American guy, very proud of his heritage. So when he would do it, he said he would wait until, like, he's getting in an elevator, especially he would wait for the packed elevator, and he would make sure that he's the last one in the elevator. And when people go into an elevator, they go in, they turn, face the front,
It's like
and
sheep.
they look down at their feet, they look up at the numbers, but that's all they do, right?
Yeah, they don't look at nobody.
So he walks in, the last person does exactly what they do, faces, he's right against the door, and then as soon as it starts to go, he turns around and he goes to everybody, well, good morning, everyone, or good afternoon. I'm so happy that we called this meeting today. And some people would be like, what, And then he'd start to talk. How is everyone today, right? He goes, some people would start hitting the button, like, to get the hell out of the elevator really quickly. Other people would engage with him, and talk. But I did it. I'll tell you what, I did it one day. I tried it out, actually more than once, but the first time I tried it, and it was just so funny. It was so awkward for me to do it, but people got the gist of it. They laughed, and whatever. But you throw them off like that. You give them something to talk about. They leave their day going, I had the strangest thing happen to me on the way up to the office this morning in the elevator.
I think we need to do that. People need that. Good morning, Arlene and Darlene, Kelly
Good
and
morning,
Gail.
ladies.
Slow morning, but you know what? I think that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. I think I have some books of his, and I was telling you yesterday that it's sad to even think of it, but I know it's what I have to do. I need to find a place to donate my books. But then I'm saying, but what if I keep a couple? Because every time I go to the thrift shops, I pick up The Alchemist in either in English, Spanish, whatever language they have. And then when people come over, I talk about the book, and they're like, "Oh, I might want to read it," and then I gift them the book. Well, I still got 3 because I haven't had many visitors since my self-isolation. So to say that, like, I think that
Good morning, Wanda.
to provoke people, right? That's what it is. We're provoking people to smile. Like that word, changing all the connotations of the negative words, like confrontation. Like I had to tell somebody yesterday, if this happens, I'm going to have to do this. And then they looked at me like, oh, and I said, because confrontation is my best friend when you handled it correctly, And I think, to provoke people into having a good day when you get in that elevator and you become, the court jester just for that moment. That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. But I do think I have some his thing. Leo, something about growing up. I
Leo
think I got
Piscalian.
in a course I took for small business owners, actually.
Yeah, Leo was really big in the late 70s, early 80s. He was pioneered as one of the first not telemarketers. One of the first, yeah, it's sort of like that. Like, what's it called when you advertise on the TV and you have those long drawn out advertisements?
Not on, yeah. I don't even
was,
know what they're called.
He was pioneered as one of the first people to do that. He actually hooked up with PBS, and he would do a lot of their telethon, not their telethons, their oh my god, I can't think of my words this morning, to raise money for PBS. But he used to teach love classes at UCLA, and because he was a professor at UCLA, and people, like, when he brought that up, people are like, why would you, nobody's going to come to those classes. He goes, just let me try. And after one semester, they would fill up. Like after the first semester, the first launch, they would fill up. And then he started having a couple of more, and there was always wait lists for it. So I like what Gail wrote. It says, I pretend I'm the elevator operator. Sometimes I ask people what floor are they getting off and on, and hope I can assist them. That's cute.
It is, what Leo did was wonderful because, and Eat, Pray, Love. Have you watched the movie? Have you read the book?
Just recently, I did again.
Watched the movie?
Yeah.
So did I, like 2 days ago. Isn't it like awesome? Like it makes you want to go
to Bali, to
Rome.
Italy, to
I don't want to
India
go to India because I don't like big crowds. But
I don't either, and I don't like. Yeah, it's too.
I want to go to Italy. Now, I've been to Bali, and some of the places you've been to look so familiar. Because remember, I was 8 days in Bali. I went all over. I wanted to see Katu, but then they told me, our driver, that after that movie, he became so, famous that now he only takes a select few people, if he's still alive by this time. This was, 5 years ago that I went there. So I went to the next best one, and, I was getting at something. Oh, in the beginning, when she says her friend who was a counselor was asked to counsel the Cambodian refugees coming in, and that the friend was like getting all worked up because she's like, I don't know what they went through in their country. I don't know what they suffered, how many, camps. And then when she finally speaks to them, they say all they wanted to talk about was love. And the guy at the other camp, but then they got separated. Now she finds out he met up with her cousin, but he tells her he's still in love with her. And I'm like saying, love, love, love is the universal language across all boundaries, across all terrors, devastations, everything. And then we have suffered, or, we were shortchanged on what the expectation of love is. So we're afraid to love, but love is so beautiful, right? That even in the midst of chaos, in the midst of not knowing where you're living, you're in camps and all this, you're still wondering, where is he? I fell in love. That's what gets you going, I think. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. His classes were probably that. People are so curious about the love they fear.
Yeah, I agree.
How's that?
That's perfect. All right. So we have a fabulous guest on today, our first guest of 2023, and our fabulous guest. We have Liza Tuck back. So let's set our intention. We'll do our mantra quickly, and we'll get Liza in, because I know Liza usually has a hard stop at 9:00, and we tend to talk over. So let's see. Let's set our intention. set your intention for today, whatever that may be. You could set it right now. You could close your eyes and say, today I intend to. You could set it after the show. You could set it multiple times a day. As my good friend Liza would always say, you could always restart. You could always restart. If your day isn't going the way you want it to, you could always restart. So set your intention for today and
do it in gratitude.
Mm.
Be grateful. Set your intentions, think of your intentions, invent your intentions, but do it in a place of gratitude. Yes. Where you know you don't need nothing, you don't want nothing. Remember when your parents, you go somewhere, you don't want nothing, you don't need nothing, you better not touch anything, I'm gonna whip your ass. That sort of thing. And do it. Do it and set your intention, because then it's real.
All right, here we go. The mantra, say it loud, say it proud. I am a disruptor.
I am a disruptor.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am spiritually grounded.
I am spiritually grounded.
I am magically orgasmic.
Ole.
And I own my truth.
And I keep it real.
Fabulous.
Lori, I guess you never were raised that way, huh?
Who, me?
Yeah, when you went into somebody's
house. Are you kidding?
You're not hungry, you're not thirsty. You know what?
Oh my God, all the time. When we would go visit people, my mother would say, don't ask for anything. Don't tell. If they ask you if you're hungry, you say no. And I'm like, but what if we are? No, you're not hungry. Don't, right? But yeah, my mother. But yet when they would come to the house, my mother would be like the hostess with the mostest. Does anybody want anything to drink? Anybody want anything to eat? You know, oh, come on, you know. But we weren't allowed to. Like, we would be like dying of, like, we'd be dehydrated from years in the desert, kind of dehydrated from playing outside. And my mother would shoot the look too. Like, if you were ready to, or the person asked, I would look at my mother, and my mother would be like, oh, don't you dare say yes.
Yeah, let me tell you that.
Now kids just ask the parent. My friends' kids come over and they're like, can I have a glass of water? You know, like this. But you know what? Yeah. I want them to be that way. I don't want them.
They have to. But Gail, Umbria, and Venice. Yes, I will be going there. I want to go to Tuscany. I want to go to the little places, not the big cities. I could care less for Rome. I think, but just the little ones. And I have friends in smaller places, but I can't wait. But Venice, isn't it sinking?
It is, but you have to go at specific times of the year too. It's much better. And I can't wait to go, because I cannot wait to visit my family. My family is so excited about me coming there. And where they live is so pretty. It's when my sister showed me the pictures, it's just breathtaking, like absolutely breathtaking. And I can't wait. Like, I can't wait to go. So hopefully this year.
And from Spain to Italy, the train is only 101 euros. Not at the edge of Italy, like somewhere in it. So that's what I'm doing. Good morning, Tiffany Bryan. Let's bring the majestic Liza.
Yeah.
Vení, chica.
Yes, definitely. Here she is. Let's bring her. There she is. Woohoo!
Good morning, Grand Rising.
You're always like going somewhere. Like, we can't keep up with Liza. She's like, the last few times she has been a guest, she's been in the car, she's been on the go. She is just, and look at her looking all fabulous in yellow. She looks
Your
like
hair has grown.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. Just call me Rapunzel.
Let your hair down, baby girl.
How are you, ladies? I'm so happy to see you both.
We are fabulous, and we're very excited to have you on as our first guest. And
thank you for asking me. That's a great way to bring in the new year, new blessings.
Yes. And, you know, and great conversation, because, you know, I mean, you and I've known each other for years now, and it's, and this is so up your alley, like the awareness piece, being mindful in general. So we figured when we were talking and putting the program schedule together, you were the first name that popped up. We were like, who do we want to get that would really resonate with what we're talking about this month? And we're like, oh my God, Liza. And you hadn't been on in a bit. So we definitely.
I
No,
know.
I haven't. I know. You hear all the noise in the background?
Oh,
People
yes.
just are not being mindful.
I'm
New
waiting
York
for you
State
to
of mind.
respond. She's all smiley. She goes, they're not being mindful. And then like 2 minutes into our conversation, she go, move your fucking ass, you asshole. What are you doing? Gotta love New York.
Yes, only in New York.
That's
All
the
right.
best.
So we are talking about, so the whole month of January is all about awareness. And
Okay.
it is within the realm of course I don't have my cheat sheet, but it's in the realm of our quarterly like package, which is to know thyself. So we started January with awareness, and then February will be a different subject, and March will be a different subject. So today's topic is, what are you tolerating? And it's not about what do we need to do about it just yet. It's identifying and being aware of what we truly are tolerating. And when I was asked this question a couple of years ago during a like a group setting, it was a 3-day like intensive training. Man, that hit me hard, because when you really stop and think about what you're tolerating means is like, what in your life are you allowing that you really don't want to allow, or and it could be as minute as like the trim. Like I was telling Gladiator Guru, I have trim over my door in my office downstairs that was never finished. Like all the other trim around the door is there except the top trim piece. And when I'm in the office and I see it, it bothers me. I'm like, I gotta fix that stupid trim. I'm so pissed. It should have just been done right. And I knew this was going to happen. And then I walk away and I forget about it, and I just let it sit. So that's been there for 2 years, been like that for 2 years, So, but that's a minute thing. It's what is it that we're tolerating that really, when we really admit it to ourselves, is really affecting us, like even if we don't realize it until we become aware of it. And that's the whole point. So who wants to start?
Well, I think the little things that aggravate us to no end, when we notice it, and then we just tolerate it, leads to the bigger things, like that battery going out in your fire alarm in your house, that beep. And we have grown so accustomed to that sound that it takes people coming in to say, "Oh my God, change your battery." So, and it's annoying as it is. We're accepting that tolerance over here, which is the stepping stones for the growth of tolerance. That's all I had to say right now.
So when I think of tolerance, right, I think, okay, what I know for this year, I know for a fact for myself, I'm not tolerating people who suck the life out of me.
Amen.
Because that's like the way I look at it. I remember I sat down, that's money being spent. So I treat my energy like I have a budget for my energy, right? Just like you have a budget for your bills, right? You have a budget for your bills. You know what you can spend per month. You know what you can put away. You know what you can, play with, right? But you still have to pay the basics, right? You still have to pay your Con Ed. You still have to pay your rent or mortgage. You still have to do growth. You still have to eat, right? Cable. Well, that's whatever. And your car note. Well, guess what? My energy, right, is a budget. I'm not spending my energy on people who take from me. So I'm investing in my energy field. What do I mean by that? I'm tolerating love. I'm tolerating how you speak to me. I'm tolerating how you treat me. I'm tolerating, and I'm going to get there. I'm tolerating on how you make. But what I'm not going to do is allow lack of love come over. If I see that you don't love yourself enough and it's taking from me, my cup has to stay full. So my budget, I'm feeding my energy field.
I
I'm
love
tolerating I'm tolerating Liza in loving Liza, making sure Liza is okay each and every single day. Do 2 check-ins in the morning and then in the afternoon, and watching my words, because that was always a big thing for me. I'm watching my words, so I'm tolerating myself first and foremost, because if I can't tolerate myself, I can't have the cushion to tolerate other people, right? So I need some kind of
That's a
cushion.
good point, by the way.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've let go of a few people, and I've noticed a shift in things that I'm attracting, because they were blocking that for me, because I was tolerating their shit.
Yes.
Right? All of 2022, I was
Well,
tolerating their shit.
their shit.
So,
And I wanted to commend you for twisting that. And because that's huge what you just did. I'm tolerating Liza. But you took the negative where we would think, oh, I'm gonna tolerate that bullshit for just one more day, and you flipped it. And just what did you write, Buddha? I'm investing in my energy field. And I think that's the shift that we were talking about in the beginning of the show. Like when I say pop up and say, oh, happy hump day, and everybody just like, some people just look and some people like laughed.
Right.
Because that is your energy ball. That's saying, they could aggravate me, but I'm not going to accept it this year because I got to tolerate all this right here. But it's all positive.
Right.
I don't know, Buddha. Did it not sound positive to you? Everything she's going to tolerate? Because said in that way, it's just a reminder of what we've been listening to and what we've been saying since last year, that be aware of who the hell you are so you could know what you don't want and what you're going to keep. And what you said, I put it into prayer months ago, and I still touch base on it, for God to show me who needs to stay in my life and who doesn't, because I will not tolerate extra negative.
It was interesting.
I have enough demons.
It was interesting. Yeah. Right. So that's a good with the demons, right? I totally get that part. But it was interesting because people, I've had many people criticize me in being like this, oh, she's the woman that doesn't ever wear shoes. I live in the Rochelle, so that I'm known as the yoga lady. So I've been here for many years. So there's like, she never wears shoes, even in the wintertime. I see her go to the store. She has flip flops on. So Lori knows this. I've always had I never ever hardly ever wear shoes. I'm always barefoot, whatever. But it's interesting how I once heard someone said to me, you really should be wearing shoes. I don't know what this is about, but you should be wearing shoes. And I looked at her and said,
white lady?
No, she wasn't white. She was actually Spanish. Okay. And I said to her, I said, listen, I do me.
She was a Karina.
Every day. I strongly advise you to do you. This is me. This is who I am. And I'm not changing it. So this is it. And if it bothers you,
ciao, arrivederci, sayonara.
Sayonara. I don't know why it bothers you. Why did you even comment where? You know what I mean?
Maybe you need to look at yourself because it's bothering you. Like, why would, I think that's, see, I look at tolerating as overall, I think it's more of a negative than positive word. We could always make it positive. Like
consequence.
Like of what you said before, you're saying that I'm keeping control of it. This is what I'm not tolerating, but this is what I'm willing to tolerate. You're in control. But the term itself for me, like when somebody says, we just need to be more tolerant. That's not, to me, that's not, I think you should substitute that. What you really should say, and I'm going to should here, is we need to be more loving and more compassionate. Tolerant is just meaning, I don't agree with you and I think you're an ass, but I'm gonna be okay with you. I don't want people to be like, I just want people to say, you do your thing. You do your thing, and I'm gonna do my thing, and I'm not gonna worry about what you're doing because I'm doing my thing. And I want to point out, before I go to my daughter's take her outside, Gladiator Guru, when we were planning for this, she gave a quote. She said, "What's the point of living when you're not?" That's what Margie said when we were talking about this.
Very
What's
good.
the point
Yes.
of living when you're not? So what are you tolerating? And I had said, I want to live my nirvana. Abundance is different for everyone. And the question is with that lack of, what are you tolerating? Is it making you uncomfortable in your own skin because you're allowing it to stay? And with that, talk amongst yourselves. I got to run. I'll be right back.
So there's a famous actress that I absolutely adore, and her name, rest in peace, was Eartha Kitt.
Mm-hmm.
I
So did I.
absolutely love that woman. That woman was ahead of her time. She lived very unapologetically, and
Oh
she
my
didn't give a
God.
fuck
Yes,
what anybody thought or said, right?
and they
So there was a
blackballed her. They
right,
blacklisted her too. Yep.
and her statement, I'll never forget this. She was in an interview, and the guy said, "Oh, something about a man, something about the love of a man or something,
Yeah.
like why she won't change, right?" And she says, "A man has to come into my life and I have to compromise. A man comes into my life and I have to compromise. Respect has to be earned, not compromised. So you're sitting here and telling me I have to tolerate people's shit and people's stuff that's not mine? Is that what you're asking me to do? No, I'm not tolerating people's shit and people's stuff because it doesn't belong to me. Okay? I don't feel comfortable stealing other people's shit.
Woo.
Okay? I don't feel comfortable. And I use the word stealing because a lot of times people are not very mindful. We go back to that word mindful, right? Because that's how we started out. People are not mindful of their own smell and their own awareness of the aroma that they're exuding on themselves. So they're too busy worried about someone else's aroma and someone else's shit, right? So you're stealing. You're technically stealing people's shit, stuff, and you're taking all this in. But guess what? When you steal, what happens? You get caught
Yep.
eventually,
And it
right?
doesn't last long.
And it doesn't last long, right? It's a quick high, come back down, do it again, come back down. You are stealing and robbing from yourself. All the love and gratefulness and gratitude you could be practicing every day. You could be filling your cup up every day. So you're stealing from yourself. You're not being mindful. You're not being aware of what you need because you're too afraid to face your fears.
Too afraid, or let's keep it real, too lazy. When people are too
That could be
lazy,
it too.
one, they rather ride the coattails of somebody who is moving ahead, and they ride the coattails and take some of their stuff and make it their own just to see if they can grow. Over here, you can't grow without water and without sun because you're too busy hiding in the shade because what you did was not right, right? And that goes for
Right.
yourself, anything internal. And so when you're riding on someone's coattails, or when you're not doing anything but pretending you are. So what happens? You're not, your mindfulness is in the gutter because you want this, you know you can do this, but you do nothing. So you're stealing, you're robbing yourself of the life, the purposeful life you were born to. And how about what Badass Buddha was saying, how to tolerate is this and to tolerate that. And that word is so huge, Liza, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe a lot of people who go into this mindfulness, go into this, let me be aware, it's a new year, all that kind of bullshit that that goes through your mind, dancing the tango and shit, and then do the hustle. And you're in your mind making all this movement and you're doing the same shit, right?
Right.
So here are people doing all of that, but they're not looking within. They're being aware of everyone else's behavior and who I don't want to be around. And oh no, I'm tired of her bullshit. Her drama drove me crazy last year. I'm gonna strictly do this, but you're so busy noticing and being aware of everyone else's behavior, you get lost and you're going down a rabbit hole. And then what happens? It's everybody else's fault. Well, I was too busy looking after you. I was too busy trying to avoid. So what would you say to a person that you have observed that has done that. So, like, there's people who are aware that they're fucking idiots, but then there's people
Right.
who really believe that they're doing a justice by pointing out everybody else's less than.
For every needle that is in my eye, 3 are pointed back at you. So when you point one at me, 3 are pointed back at you. So I would just gently tell the person, really depends on the relationship. I said, listen, there's a couple of things that I've observed. Okay, as you know, I have my downfalls and I have my faults and flaws as well. I'm giving you permission to point them out to me at the time that it happens, because I may not be aware. I may not be mindful. I may not see it at the time, but I want to give permission as well to share what I see that's going on with you. And this will allow our friendship and relationship to not only grow, but the closeness of the exchange of energy, the trust in knowing that we are here to take care of each other. We're here to make each other grow, not take or steal from one another. Take our energy, be an energy vampire, I like to call it. We want to do I want to grow in what I'm lacking. And if I don't know and I'm not mindful and I don't see what I'm lacking and I don't have the right support people, I'm always going to be like this, uneven. I'm never going to get to the point where I could be like this. But you need people to. Well, the problem is that people can't take criticism sometimes.
Yes, that's what's going to be my next question. It is.
Or they're in denial.
That was my next question to you. So if you encounter somebody that you really see potential in, that you like the way they work, their work ethic is solid, you might not know them, but you know them, that type of deal. And sometimes when you don't know somebody, but you know them, you refrain from saying something that might push them forward in the right direction. So we got to be mindful of our own fears if that's what we're set to do. But what would you tolerate? How many talks with a person who rejects constructive criticism would you tolerate in your life? Whether it doesn't matter the relationship. You could have known them for 20 years or known them for 20 seconds, but you connected spiritually. And I know you feel that when you meet people. Like there's a connection, like, oh my God, I knew them in one of my past lives. I know it.
Right.
They're related to an ancestor and they're pulling us together. That sort of feeling in 20 minutes we're talking about. So how many opportunities will you tolerate in trying to redirect this person into being mindful about themselves?
Until I feel that I'm not being effective. My energy is not assistance of anymore. I'm not being effective anymore, and it's stealing away from me.
Yeah, that's
and I don't want to steal from myself. I don't want to play games with myself. I don't want to play with myself like that.
Yes.
I don't want to be a part of your mess, because now you're pulling me down, and I can't. Let me tell you something. When your cup is full, right? Whatever's in the cup is for me. Whatever is pouring out of the cup is for everybody that's around me. So if you're taking a glass and you're filling it up to the top, and you just keep filling it up, what's going to happen? The water's going to flow over the glass, right? Okay, that part, the water that's flowing over the glass, is for everybody else. But my cup has to stay. That water has to be on top. That's me. That's me. My emotions, the way I feel for myself, the way I do things in life, the way I interact with other people. That exchange of energy. Who am I going to give my money to, and who I'm not going to give my money to? Who am I going to give my energy to, and who I'm not going to give my energy to? I'm not just going to walk down the street and go in my wallet and hand somebody $10, $20 and be like, here, this is just for you. This is for you. You might as well do that, because that's what you're doing when you're giving your energy to just giving it away.
It's worse than energy, because money you could make over, but if
I can replace the money with the energy.
Trying to make money.
So I'm not tolerating people that are in my circle, and we've had several conversations about a particular topic, and it's not going anywhere, right? I'm not doing that. So I'm not tolerating that because years are going by so fast. And I just noticed last year, now it's over. We're in 2023. It's just zooming by.
Yes.
And I want to feel that I lived a purposeful life.
Yes.
And the only way to do that is to make sure that that energy that I possess is helping or healing people, but I'm not going to take in someone else's energy that has no clue what direction they're going when I know where I'm going.
And they
That's
zap
just
it. And my thought is with tolerating is it's death by 1,000 swords. That's what it is. You're allowing it. It bothers me, but like there's always this but. But I'm not happy with, like, if somebody flat asks you, are you happy with that relationship? Are you happy with that job? Are you happy with that car, your life? And somebody sits there and goes, yes. And then you go, really? No, like really, really think about this. I'm like, no one's going to know. You're going to answer the question. And the person says,
right.
well, yeah, I'm not really happy with this. And what happens is when they start getting down and they start really asking the deeper questions to themselves, and they say, I'm really not okay with this. I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with this. That's a little sword. That's a little, a little prick. It's a little knife. It's a little knife. It's a little knife. And it's just pop here, pop here, pop here. After a point in time, it's going to be noticeable because it drains your spirit. My thought is that when you tolerate something, it affects your spirit. And we so often put the spirit in the back burner. Like we just, spirit's tucked in there. It's fine. It's good. I'm fine,
No.
But when you keep doing that and doing that, your spirit drains a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, until one day you wake up and it manifests sometimes as you have a nervous breakdown. You have a massive depressive episode. You lose everything. You get into a massive car accident and you get massively injured or sick. And then people go, I don't know how that happened. And it's like, let's look at the bigger picture. Were you living the life that you wanted? I mean, there's still things in my life that I have been tolerating far too long and they need to stop. And you said something so key, Liza. You said, those have to go because they're blocked. You moved people out in 2022 because they were blocking you. And that is absolutely what it is. And the reason we tolerate is there's this fear. Well, this isn't, so I could tolerate this. What if the other possibility is far worse? So that's why we stay so stagnant, is that we think that this is the lesser of the two evils, the unknown. Oh, it's got to be worse. Not thinking that, what if we said, well, it's got to be better. So if we all thought, okay, it's got to be better than this, then you would be like, I'm out. Like, I'm out of this job. I'm out of this marriage. I'm out of this car. I'm out of this whatever house,
So energetically, right? I always look at it as a value system, right? Like because my energy, I connect. I have a different type of energy where I connect with people, and it's a very it's like my emotions are heightened when I connect with people. I could really feel people. I could feel their presence. I could feel their energy. It's just a beautiful exchange when it's right.
What are you feeling? What are you feeling about me right now, Liza? For you, what are you feeling?
I think you're absolutely gorgeous. I can feel your beautiful aroma.
It's
wonderful. I know the pheromones are just seeping through.
Listen, I'm going to tell you, I'm staunchly heterosexual, but I would love to have a threesome with you too. I mean, there's no question. I totally.
I would have to I have to check in with my husband and see what. He might be like, "Oh, come over."
I'll talk to. Yeah, I'll say as long as you do it at our house.
So freaking funny. So the energy, everybody, is so important for all your listeners. Please do yourself a favor today. Do yourself a favor today. I'm going to challenge you on something. Can you treat your energy today like $100 bill that you're going to lose? Okay. Do you have $100 on you today? And if you do, are you willing to walk down the street and give it away to somebody that you don't even fucking know? Or give it away to somebody that you do know? Are you willing to give it away to your boss? Are you willing to give it away to your coworker or the person that you're talking to on the phone all day? I want you to treat your energy today like $100 bill that you're getting ready to gain or lose or save. So treat your energy just for today. And at the end of the day, I want you to say, really be honest. I want you to say, wow, I didn't lose that $100 today. It's great. I have it. Wow. My energy, I still feel amazing. I still
People
feel great.
value what they see, what they can see, touch, and
Right,
feel.
right,
Okay, love it.
right, right. So I challenge everybody today. I challenge gladiator guru and the beautiful Margarita. I challenge you, ladies, to treat your energy today like $100 bill. Can you afford to lose $100 today, right now?
If I
Maybe,
had
maybe
it,
you
I would
can.
not afford to lose it.
So your energy, how are you feeling right now? Can I ask you this question, everybody? How are you feeling right now? If I asked you, how are you feeling right now? I feel great today.
Me too. So far,
Are
yeah.
you willing? Are you willing to lose that in any given moment today?
No, and I love that
There
you
you
asked
go.
that question, because I was saying this to my sister the other day. We were taking a walk, and we've been walking and doing like catching up on stuff, but also like doing business stuff, right? And I said I was in such a really good mood that day. I had like the energy up the wazoo. I could have walked for like miles,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, whenever I feel like this, I always say to myself, I wish I could bottle it, because on those moments where I'm low, that I would love to be able to open it up and just go, take a swig or whatever, take a
But you
sip.
can bottle it. You can bottle it by reminding yourself.
That's
Let's
exactly
say at 12, 1 o'clock, the tank is going, right? And you stop the tank right there. So wait a minute, I don't have another $100 to put in this fucking car. I just put it. Do you have the funds to lose $100 today, right now?
no.
Simple as that.
I do, but I don't want to.
You don't want to. So do you have do you understand that your energy right now, the way you feel, are you willing to risk losing that today?
Yeah, no, I don't want to.
No. That right there is bank. So if everybody that's listening to you, they're not tolerant. Do not allow people to steal your joy. Simple as
Right
that.
on.
Treat
Right on.
joy like money. I'm not tolerating anybody that is willing to come into my circle, in my arena, and my park. This body is my park. I love this park. Okay? And come in and throw sand at me.
Mm-hmm.
Or tell me I can't get on a ride. I gotta wait. Or tell me, that's not gonna work for me. I am going to run this park. This is my park. I'm going to water this garden, which is my heart. I'm going to sit and watch the sunrise and the sunset. I'm going to sit on a park bench and smell that fresh air coming off the trees. I'm going to take care of this park, this beautiful park that I was given, and I'm not going to waste it.
I
So
know
don't
that.
allow people to walk into your park and throw garbage on your park.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
It is
Don't
simple.
do it.
Yesterday, I
That's it.
went into work. One of the girls was upset, and she goes, "I'm going to be in a bad mood today." And I said, "Then I need you to stay away from me."
Correct.
Oh no,
There's
it's
no
not mad with
tolerance.
you. I said, "Listen, you're going to be in a bad
Doesn't
mood,
matter.
and I can't
Right.
breathe in the beauty and breathe out all that bullshit for both you and I." I said, "If you want me to teach it, I'll teach it to you right now. Come on, breathe in." And she was adamant that it was her agenda to be pissed off over something she really had no confirmation on. So I literally, and then someone else from another department saw me doing it. She goes, "What are you doing?" I literally put my hands out like this, and I said, "You see this? All this is my space. Stay away from me."
There you go.
Check yourself.
That's it.
You know what? The older lady, she's like, "Oh my God, you do that?" After she asked me what I was doing, I said, "At all cost." I said, because she might be saying words, you might be listening to her words, but I'm seeing her energy. And that shit is like chewing gum. It's going to stick to mine if I'm not careful, So
correct.
So, and that you have to
Bubblicious.
Not so
You
much.
have to be exactly what you said, Liza. That is your park. You know, you go to
That's right.
Bryant Park in New York, across from Radio City.
Love
You
love
cannot
it.
smoke in that park, and it's an
No.
open air thing. It's a park. You cannot
Right.
smoke in it. You gotta
No.
if you're walking your dog, they gotta visibly see your pooper scooper thingies.
Right.
That's exactly. So when you said that, it brought me back to Bryant Park, and I'm
There
thinking
you go.
you gotta go back there. But I'm also thinking how, you know, when we all say different things, because the badass Buddha mentioned something earlier, and it's like, you know, the beauty of of not tolerating the negative is because it leaves the window open to learn just through general conversation like we did today. You know, I'm always talking about be the gardener of your crop, you know, build that garden and make those
Right.
roses. And you said you said I'm the whole motherfucking park. And that is exactly how we gotta see ourselves. We gotta
Right.
see ourselves in this capacity that no one or nothing outside of us can really destroy us.
Because we're so powerful. We don't
Right,
even
yeah.
realize how powerful we are. I am extremely powerful, honey. I don't need the sanitation department. I clean that fucking park myself.
And that's
Simple as that.
exactly, you know what? When Lori said we got Liza on, you know, we expect to have a great show.
Yeah.
But you know, I think you touch bases on a little bit of everything we have been touching about. So it's making me smile from the inside out. Because then you're like, oh shit, that's right. So thank you for that. But it she said I'm my own sanitation department.
Yeah. We need to have Liza on like once
my
a quarter. We need to have Liza on like every like 6 weeks. We need to have Liza.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it.
Up everybody a little bit more, you know.
That's it. So make sure everybody listening, don't lose your $100 today, and go to the park. Simple as that.
Your own park.
Clean up your own park, and don't allow anybody in after hours either. Park is closed.
Yes, from dusk to what is it? From dusk to from dawn
That's
to
it.
dusk. Like
That's it. The door is shut after that.
Coming down, we close. It's not even all the way down yet. That means by the time it's all the way down, no entry.
That's it.
You know, it is amazing. And through my self-isolation, I talk about it all the time because you know what? We always fear what's best for us. We always fear what's best for us. And why is that?
That's
because
true.
our energies are all over the place and the enemy is trying to keep us in that mess. And every time and just a reminder to everybody listening, and you ladies tell me if you agree, every time you make a solid decision to do better for your life, do you not find 5 more obstacles?
Oh God, it's like, you know, it's almost like a setup.
Like the enemy is so aware of what we want to do, and they're like, she's strong. I gotta get in her way.
Right.
People actually quit with those extra, you know, those extra boulders in the way. You see, it wasn't meant for me to do, and they don't do it. And I look at it as like, come on, only 5? I need more. I need that challenge to say, to hell with you. I this is really my destiny because you're making it hard for me to get there. So in going forward, in holding on to that $100, badass Buddha, what 2 things you would recommend someone to do? Like myself, because I'm so awful with money.
Oh, holding on with that analogy.
Yeah, 2 things. Yeah.
Clarity of self. Like you have to absolutely be aware of your surroundings. That's the whole point of this conversation is who are the people that you sometimes willingly give that $100 to? Who are those people? Are they close to you? Are they not so close to you? And because the closer we are, the more tendency the easier it is to give it away. So really be aware of those individuals that you would give that $100 to, or situations. And
are they deserving of it?
Exactly. And take that step back and say, you know, like, really, like, is this worth it? This $100 is in my pocket, and kick it up a notch. You know, if sometimes people will be like, well, it's just money. Then you know what? What if you say, well, if I could get through the end of my day holding that $100, that tomorrow turns into $300, you know.
That's right.
Tomorrow, and then after that, it turns into $600, you know.
That's right.
So if you think of it from those perspectives, so think about it. The only way is to literally stop and pause, and that's why intentions are so important. When you stop and think about that and say, okay, who are some of the people that really pull that would be handing out with their hand like this for that $100, or even trying to grab it out of my pocketbook or my pocket. So those are the ones
they're so used to getting their way with you.
Correct.
Right. So they're just taking from you. You might as well just write them a check for $1,000 a week, because that's basically what you're giving them.
How much to buy you off? How much to buy you off?
Right. So you know what? Keep your energy. Keep that love and gratitude. Keep that peace. Because if you continue to keep that money, what is it going to do? It's going to grow, right? You're going to have a down payment for something. Keep your energy. What you're going to do after a year by practicing, keeping that energy, keeping that field right, what do you think is going to happen? In the next 2 weeks or so, you're going to be so amazing, so radiant, that people are not even going to be able to look at you. They're going to need sunglasses, honey, because you're just going to be shining. You're going to be shining so bright. That's right. That part. That's right.
That park over there. What is that bright light? And I can't get to it because I'm not
that invisible boom that throws you back.
That is correct.
And el bendito es el mano de jodete. All that bendito, but you know, we've been friends forever. And she's always going through hard times. If it wasn't for me, if it wasn't for you, she probably would have been up and out of that ditch, but you've enabled her. So know what role you're playing too, because that's how you get to be.
That's powerful.
Right.
Yep.
You know, right. Always with from a Puerto Rican perspective, that's our word, endito. It's always endito. Endito nothing. Get up. Put your pants on. You know, go wash your ass. Do something. That's the people.
Right.
That's how we teach people generational wealth. Well, I got my 100 and I'm not even giving you 10 today. How much are you going to keep out of yours? They see you growing in kindness, in mindfulness. They see you growing in gratitude. They see you building your empire with the first mustard seed of intention, and now it's a goal, and now you have it. Now it's already started. That's how.
See, I don't need to change. I don't want to break my $100 bill today. I already set that intention. I'm not breaking my $100 bill, and I don't need no fucking change. Okay, so I'm gonna keep my $100 in my pocket. And when I go home, I'm gonna put that $100 right back in that freaking wallet.
But that's a good point, because you know what? That's actually a really good point, because that is part of tolerating, is breaking that $100 bill. Because if you say, well, I mean, I could spare to lose $3 of that $100 bill. Let me break it. What happens when you break a $100 bill?
It flows like water.
Exactly.
Like that.
When you have that $100 sitting there and you're like, oh, I only got 100. Like, I can't break. And a lot of places won't break it for you. So like, okay, keep holding on the 100. The moment you break that $100 bill,
it's gone. It dissipates.
That's it. It's like, oh, I got a 20 in here. Oh, wait, I got a 5 in here. I got the 50.
There you go. Here's the 20, right? So you have, like, let's say your change is like $80 and shit. Here comes fucking Sally. You don't gave her fucking 20. Here comes freaking Joe. Here comes freaking Melissa. Damn, that bitch. She has took another fucking 20 from me. Now you go home. What you got? You got like $5, $6 and some fucking quarters and pennies and dimes and shit. Yes. Now what happened to you? You got freaking robbed. Simple as that. You got robbed and you didn't even see it coming. So keep your $100.
Kathy
I'm
asked,
keeping my $100.
Kathy asked, how about how tolerating something is affecting your health? Well, tolerating anything affects everything. It affects your mental being, your well-being, your emotional, your physical, your physiological. So it can affect your health. So that's what you have to actually take stock in. You have to list the things that what you're tolerating. And then even if you don't connect it 100% right now, even if you say that can't possibly be affecting my health, well, then you're going to be you're fighting for your limitations, and that's what you're going to win. So be willing to say on this list of that things that I'm tolerating, each one is that death by 1,000 swords. So each one is going to contribute, and this is contributing to my health in one way, shape, or form. Even if you got rid of everything, it may not completely heal you, but it's going to be damn noticeable. Like it's going to
Mm-hmm.
be damn noticeable in your health, and it may
So you're
actually.
gonna you have to pay your bills, right? Can you tell the mortgage people that you don't feel like paying they're giving them their check?
Not today, or
I'd
not
like
this month.
to. I'd like to.
Huh?
I'd like to
You're
do it.
right. Okay, so then why would you let somebody come into your space and take your fucking money like that? You know what I'm saying? Why are you allowing these? Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm letting everybody know today that I'm keeping my $100
Yeah, I'm
today.
gonna keep my $100. Everybody make that promise. I'm keeping my $100 bill.
I'm keeping my $100 and keeping
And
my
then at
park
the
clean.
end of the day today, message and say, I kept my $100 bill.
Woo! I can't wait.
Or
Keep my $100.
tomorrow, message, I kept my $100 bill. And be
Right,
honest,
and like
because if you did get
you have
change
to be
and it
honest.
did come out, then let us know. Like say it, because that's also part of the growth is you have to admit when you screw up, because then you
Right,
do better tomorrow. You say, okay, I fucked
right,
up today. So
right.
what I learn and what do I need to do better tomorrow? And so, okay, fine. I'm going to start off with another $100 bill, and I'm not going to let that sucker go today. So
Like yesterday, I know I lost $10. I know I lost $10 yesterday. Easy.
I did
Came
too.
home with fucking $90, yo. I was heated, but that's okay. I know I lost $10 somewhere yesterday. Like, so today I'm hoping to keep 100. That'll make 190. Right, in 2 days, come back with $100.
There you go. That's right.
Oh, I love you, ladies. I have to run. I have to go to work. I have to jump out of my car. But thank you so much for picking me. I know my year is going to be great. Your year is going to be fabulous. I appreciate everybody. I swear I'm so grateful, 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 grateful.
Yes,
And keep your
yes.
damn change
We
and your
love
money.
you, Liza. We love you.
I'm gonna hoard. Are you a hoarder? Yes, I am. Back up.
What are you going to do with that money? You going to get a shoebox?
I'm gonna put it in my shoebox.
Thank you so much. It was a great seeing you.
All right.
We love
Thank
you.
you. Love you. Bye-bye.
Oh my God, that's so funny. That was great. That was a very good boost, she's, you know what she reminds me of, Gladiator Guru. To me, she's equal to your persona, your energy field. So to have like both of you guys or ladies on the show, it's like this woo, like it's this holy.
Yeah, I loved what she was talking about, and she does. It's like when we all get together, it's time that dynamic match that lights the flame.
Yes.
It's like, with some people you're like, and you're thinking, okay, I'd rather be home. And then with other people, you're like, you're going with the flow. But then there's other people that it's like something was plugged into you, and you're like, and all these ideas pop in. But it's only with certain people. So that was good. I didn't want to overtalk her because she did have a lot to say. And when we get a guest that intrigues us, we become over talkative on the show. So and we put that into awareness. A great time to bring that up. And so it's been working in our favor, but it's still hard because that short time window they had. So we're gonna have to have her on again, as you said. Since you already started, the first quarter started in the first 3 weeks of the first quarter. She might as well be on every topic, right?
Yeah, you know what? That's a good point. That would be good for her to be on every topic. Or at least at the very least once a quarter, maybe twice a quarter, so every 2 to 3 months. But she's the kind of person that it's one of those times where I would love for us to have like a 90-minute show, because there's so much that can come out, and the beauty is that she brings stuff out. It reminds us of stuff, and then it brings more things out. So those are the kind of things that you want to listen to again, because it was good stuff. It was really good stuff. When you put it into that perspective, it hurts more, especially that last piece when she said, you might as well write a check out to them for $1,000 every week. Sometimes $100 isn't enough incentive for people. But when you start saying $500, $1,000, like every week, that's like, oh shit, that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a lot of money. And if we could if we could put a value to crypto, if we could put a value to the dollar bill, why is it so hard for us to put a value to our energy and to ourselves?
Because, let's keep it real though. We can't blame each person. Society has led you astray. Society has you believing that you need this and that. You need all these to be knowing about all these people. You need all these things to make you valuable. You need to be in certain places to be seen, or you're just going to be a peasant. So, I mean, it's been going on forever. So then the masses follow blindly. And then when they start waking up, like, they have to start from scratch now. So the bottom line to all of this is, when you do wake up, that means you still have time. So let's stop giving away. Be aware of your energy. It is priceless. That's why, it is priceless. When you have to do what you have to do it. El que le guste bien y si no también. Because you're not here to please everybody. You're here to fulfill a mission that you were born to do. And whether it is to make sure that the family you have created is set, is happy, that they're eating well, it doesn't matter what the situation is. Why does society make us think that we need to have 6 figures to matter? We need to be omnipotent on every facet of social media in order to be heard and seen. It's bullshit. Work your own system, believe in who you are, go out into a world and talk to a crowd of 1 or a crowd of 1,000 and be who you are in totality. And guess what happens? You're being who you are. So that means your energy is sacred behind a veil that nobody can penetrate unless you give permission.
Yep. Yes. Because if you're not going to create your own life, someone's going to create it for you. Someone, something, society, whatever. And I would much rather and I'm going to say this from in my life now, I would much rather create my own damn life. I don't want anybody creating it for me. And I was that person years ago that was more than happy to let everybody create my life for me, because I didn't know who the hell I was, what I wanted, but deep down inside I did. It's just, I gave up that power a long time ago when I was a child. I was very clear when I was a child of what I wanted, what I was good at. But little by little, friends, parents influenced me into different ideas rather than those individuals looking at what I had naturally as talent to say, we're going to nurture this. And unfortunately, when you're a child, it's not easy to be that child that stands up and nurtures yourself. Very few children can do that. But it does, at a certain point in time, will be a responsibility to nurture yourself. And you have to be able to look back at that and go, that wasn't okay. They did the best they could. I'm not blaming them. What I'm saying is that it's time for me to change. And like Laddie Guru said, if you wake up and become aware of it today, who cares if it doesn't matter your age. It just matters that you became aware of it. And now what are you going to do about it? And that's what we're going to build up to, is to what are you going to do about it now? That's going to be coming up, but we still constantly need to be in your face about being aware and taking ownership of stuff. Because until you get that really knotted in your head and say, oh my God, I am so uncomfortable with this. For the love of God, would you tell me how to get out of it already? We want you to get to that level. Like, we want you to get to that level with this year, is to, oh my gosh, you ladies have been talking about this. I'm ready. Like, I am so done with this. I'm ready, because that is the only way the change is gonna come. We could sit there and talk till we're blue in the face, like we have been for the last 3.5 years. But it's a moot point unless you actually take it in.
Yep. And I'm not gonna sit here and say it's your fault, but be aware. And I'm going to say this until I'm blue in the face, because last year and the year before, I've heard and I've watched so many people get enthralled into other people's lives that they lost themselves, and then they have no idea where to start from. So when you're looking in the mirror, exclude the people you love or hate. because sometimes it's a thin line and we carry both throughout our day, and then we wonder why our mood changed so quickly. Like why was I thinking that? I was just thinking this. You remember, you're in control of your youth. You know, people, places, you don't need to be somewhere because it's on and popping. You know, and things. Do you really need to own that Louis Vuitton or Gucci purse because your friend's cousin's sister has one? And I'm just making a joke out of that one, but really, you know, you go and you see all this stuff. If you need to have a name brand, buy one classic piece. Invest in one classic piece. Not something that just came out that's all colorful, that's not going to be in style next year. Go to the basics. You know, Dooney and Burke, I love them. I love their basic ones. I don't care what they came out with afterwards. So, I mean, if you need to, because everybody deserves good things, beautiful things, things that make them feel when they walk out the door, but don't make it to where you gotta spend money. You know how many people I know that are in line at midnight for the new release of shoes coming out? They're paying $600, but their rent is due. Don't do that. Think of you, invest in you, in time, in smiles, in intentions, in gratitude, and keep that $100 tucked away for emergency cases only.
Yes.
That's all I got.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that. That was fantastic, Gladiator Guru. And I don't have our schedule for next week in front of me, so I can't tell you what we're doing next week.
Next week is
but it's about awareness.
How did I get here?
There we go. How did I get here? So lots to think about. What are you tolerating? What did we talk about on Tuesday, Gladiator Guru?
On Tuesday, who are you then and now?
Yeah. I thought that was last week.
Well, we did Liza today, right?
Tuesday. Yeah, what was Tuesday? Who that was Tuesday's show was who are it was? Oh.
Well, I thought it was something different, but that's what it's here. The life you're living. We did it all starts with awareness. Whose reflection is in that mirror? The life you are living. Who are you then and now?
That was the week before.
What are you tolerating? How did I get here?
Okay.
Is next week's. And what's my pain? Unless we snuck one in.
I don't know. I feel like that's off,
I'm gonna
but
tell
that's
you
okay.
right now.
It's fine. And I don't have my list. I don't know what I did with my list, but it doesn't matter. It's all about.
Yeah, you know what matters is that we're popping up like slut magic on Tuesday morning at 8:00 with our cafe con leche, and it's Viva, which means live. What is the premise of it? Live on purpose. Live out loud. Viva Cafe con Leche. Stay tuned. Put that ding-a-ling-a-ling reminder on. 8 a.m. We'll be on.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Glamorous. Hey, Chanel. I'm so happy you got to come on, prima.
All right. Well, fabulous. Ding-a-ling-a-ling. We're going to leave it with that. All right, everybody, have a fabulous weekend. And from the Badass Buddha, remember, be you, be real, and to be extraordinary.
And from the Gladiator Guru, mi gente, remember to breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.
Namaste and ding-a-ling.